Morning, peeps. This is like a pilot for like a new series I might be doing. I haven't decided yet whether I do it or not. It's just I'll be doing it in my normal light-hearted way anyway. It's not like Meet the Manager or anything. It's just more to this season to see what they've been up to. And this week it's FPL Virgin, a well-known person from Fantasy Scout. Everyone knows him. And Mark on Twitter. So we'll have a look at his team anyway and see what he's been up to. Like I said, this is a going to be more of a light-hearted sort of look. So don't be surprised there's a bit of effing and blinding going on when I see what he's been up to. Now what's he up to here? Look, 500,000. So he's like about just in the top 10%. A bit like myself actually this season. About similar rank. And let's see how he's been doing. Right, so he's had a 5,000 finish and a 20,000 finish. He's obviously pretty good, isn't he? So from where he is now, he should be cruising into the top 1% easily by the end of the season. So we'll have a look at his history, see if there's any weeks that stand out, see what he's been up to. Right, so he's only had 2 weeks under 1 million. It's a bit like myself. It's very hard these days. You just get an average week and you're like in 2.5 million territory, aren't you? So even to get under 1 million is like pretty rare these days. So he's had an incredible game week 1 though. He's 33,000, 95 points. I wish I'd had a week like that to start off with. I tell you, peeps. Now, so he's obviously done something's gone badly wrong, isn't it? He got 95. You got the old Robertson, Mendy, Van Aanholt. Look, pretty looking template sort of a team for the Twitter people here. He's got them all the bells and whistles, and he's got the Peltier and the Wan-Bissaka, Stevens, Robertson, Mendy, Salah. So pretty template he started off with, and he's done well. Very well. If he's quite unlucky actually. If he didn't have De Bruyne playing for 30 minutes, he'd have had Wan-Bissaka off the bench and got 107 points. Would have been an absolutely blinding start for him. Look at those defenders. 11, 15, 11 and 12 on the bench. Incredible. A lot of people with the Twitter template started off like this, didn't they? We all had very similar teams and it was only like 1 or 2 decisions that like separated a start like this and a more sedate start. So some ones that nailed it with got lucky and they've got a massive start. So he's done really well here. And then it's all turned to custard by the look of it. So he's gone from overall rank of 30,000 all the way down to 200,000 after game week 2. So I don't know what he's done wrong here. We'll have a look. Actually, we'll have a look at his transfer history. Oh, we better check on his captains, make sure he's been captaining the right people. Well, he got -2 for Wan-Bissaka. That would have hurt. He had 2 Palace defenders and got -2 from them. So he's got De Gea in goal. So he started with De Gea and Hamer. That was the only thing he's done that wasn't really template. He ignored the advice about getting 2 4.5 goalkeepers, and it's cost him. But more than that, it's just Palace has cost him because he's got 3 of them actually played, and he got net total of 0 from them. So I'll quickly nip through his team. Keep going. Right, so he's got game week 3. Correct captains and everything. Done all right there. Nothing wrong. Didn't leave millions of points on the bench. Pretty ho-hum sort of a game week, that one. We'll look through where else is he's done. Another game week 4 weren't too good for him. But he hasn't used his wild card, which is interesting. So nothing much again there. Pretty normal. And let's have a look. We'll just skip through, I think. We'll pick on a particularly bad week. Let's see. Game week 8. What's he done here? Oh, for fuck's sake. He's done the same as me. Look, he's bought blooming Kane in for Aguero. A lot of us done that, didn't we? Why has he benched Mendy, I asked myself. What happened in game week 8? Mendy. Oh, away to Liverpool. Fair enough, I guess. Fair enough. Just one of those things, isn't it? So he's got all the bought knockout in by the look of it. So he hasn't really done much wrong from what I can see. We'll have a look at his transfer history and see whether he's been captaining all the right people. His transfer history, he bought in Mkhitaryan for De Bruyne, which was a bit of a... But a lot of people bought Mkhitaryan in, didn't they? He bought Walker in for Richarlison. I'd done the same as that. Nothing wrong with doing that. It just didn't work out. So all the people he's bought in are what you would call proper fantasy players. And he's taken out people that haven't really done him much harm, to be honest. I mean, he had to take Richarlison out because of his red. He took Peltier out and he's done nothing. So he hasn't been kicking any babies out. He's just been thrown out the bathwater. He didn't keep Kane. He immediately got rid of Kane. And what he's done there, he's obviously had a gutser because he's dropped down to 500k. He's had his Kane blank. And he didn't have Hazard, so he's gone, right, I'm kicking out Kane and blooming Aguero. Well, he'd already kicked Aguero out, but he's kicked Kane out and he's thought, I've got to get Hazard, and he's gone to some kind of weird structure. Now, is this panicking? Has he panicked? Should he have used his wild card to sort all this out? Because what he's done now, he's done what the general's thinking of doing. He's gone to a 4-4-2 and he's got this Isaac Success character in. And to me, I was looking at his team just now because I'd done this pod before and it didn't work because I was too busy umming and ahhing about what he should be doing and that, because I hadn't really thought about what he should have done in advance. But when I was doing that, I was looking and I was thinking how bloody inflexible it all is. It's really inflexible structure he's got here. Because I was thinking, what should he do now? Because he's got Van Aanholt, he's got Wan-Bissaka and Zaha. There's two Palace players too many. You know, he hasn't been taking them out in advance, and he's got these horrible fixtures. He's got Knockout, who is a possible problem, but I wouldn't call him a problem yet. I don't think he needs to worry about him this week. I think he needs to worry about Van Aanholt and Zaha in particular. Although they're playing Arsenal, and Arsenal concede. So he get rid of one of them. He don't think he needs to take a hit. So he could just do Zaha to and out of it was what I was thinking for him this week. Because he's got enough in defence. He doesn't need to be buying any more defenders. And he could actually play Van Aanholt this week and hope for the best, because Arsenal do concede. And I can't see any useful defenders for him to get this week. So he's probably better off using his transfer to get an Arnautovic in. Who would he get in as a defender? I'm not sure who, really. Got Liverpool already. Could get a West Ham defender. A Liverpool. Flipping heck, peeps. A Leicester defender. You could get a Leicester defender and risk Zaha against Arsenal. Or he could get an Arnautovic and leave Van Aanholt. I think with success, you should put this success character up in the team this week. Maybe not start him, but actually, he could possibly start him. Could start Knockout or Success. And he could bench Van Aanholt then, couldn't he? He could start Knockout and Success. Hope Success starts. But I think someone isn't going to start this week, like Knockout or somebody. So he's going to need his bench probably. Still got his two keepers. So at least he hasn't panicked about De Gea. A lot of people would have panicked and got rid of him. I know he hasn't had many returns. But it doesn't mean he's not going to start getting some. And Mark's obviously been using his transfers on more pressing matters. I don't know if he's taken a hit yet, has he? Let's have a look. View transfer history. I don't know if it tells you, does it? So he's done 2 in 4. He's done 1 in 3. He didn't do 1 in 2. So I think that was a free one at 4. 6, 7... Didn't make 1 in 5, so he must have had a 3. I think he's been very cautious. I think his first hit would have been last week, because he'd done 2 in 8 and 2 in 9. But he didn't do 1 in 5, so he would have had 1 carrying over for 6 and 7. So that's interesting. Only 1 hit for the season. I may be wrong on that, but that's what my initial analysis tells me there. So I see he did bench Van Aanholt last week when the knockout came in. Let's see. Well, I think really he's got to... It's very similar to myself. He's not done anything wrong here. He's done nothing wrong, but he's gradually sliding down the ranks. It's quite frustrating. Is this structure not working for him with these big defenders? Because although they are getting scores, it's not helping his overall rank, because his overall rank hasn't been improving. Is this why? I mean, it's all very well having them. You've got Mendy, Robertson, Alonso. But then look at his strike force. It really is diabolical, isn't it? I mean, no, Mitrovic could still be good, although people are starting to say he hasn't been. And Nautovic, if he gets him, will slot in there nicely. But even so, it's very lightweight up there. And with it being lightweight up top, you'd think that the midfield would be fantastic. But it's not really. It's not really any different from mine. And I've got a premium striker in my team. But his Perret is good. I mean, they've got good fixtures this week. He could do well this week with those 4 strikers. But I don't know about this. I really don't know about this structure. I mean, I envy these people with all these good defenders. But then when you look at their teams and you see that there's also bits missing elsewhere, isn't there? I've actually bought Alonso in this week. But he's the only premium defender I've got now. But they could all do well this week, I suppose. Mendy hasn't got a great fixture, though, has he? Mendy hasn't, and the Palace players haven't. So maybe... he hasn't been taking hits, so maybe he'll continue not to take hits. But after being 33,000 after game week 1, he must be finding this quite frustrating. So it's hard for me to... I don't know what to suggest, because this structure that he's got now is just so inflexible. It really is. So all I can say is just get an out of it, basically, because I can't really suggest anything else, not in this structure. He's going to have to get rid of one of these defenders, I think, at some stage. Either downgrade Van Aanholt to a really cheap Wolves defender. I know a lot of people getting rid of Bennett and that, aren't they, at the moment, but just buying someone like that, he's only just 4.1 million or something. Buy one of them for Van Aanholt, because you don't need Van Aanholt. And just play those 3 at the back every week. Because you're going to play them every week. Mendy, Robertson, Alonso. You don't need any other defenders when you've got those 3. So I think that would be my suggestion. If you're really desperate to stick with Robertson, Alonso and Mendy, then ditch Van Aanholt. So that has 3 up $1.5 million somewhere else. Which could be already 2 million in the bank, by the way. So if you add that money from Van Aanholt to the 2 million in the bank, that gives you 3.5 million. To turn Fraser next week into someone tip-top, I don't know, quite 5.8, 8.8. Yeah, you maybe even better get an Ericsson or someone in next week if he plays his cards right. Or an Ozil at some stage to replace Fraser, and that would give the midfield a lot better look about it. Now, knockout could be an issue too. So I suggest if you do get rid of knockout, try and go a wee bit cheaper, just to save up an even bit more. And then if Success starts playing, then you're going to be laughing, but he's probably still going to be sporadic starter, isn't he? But I think that's my suggestion. If you want to keep this structure like it is, then you need to downgrade Van Aanholt. Possibly, if Knockout turns out to be rested too much, then look at getting someone very slightly cheaper than him, and then piling money into Fraser to make another premium midfielder. Then you've got a top defence. You can play Robertson, Alonso, Mendy, and you can have a top midfield. And that way you can have an extra premium midfielder, and then that should compensate for having this ultra cheap strike force. Because at the moment I'm not seeing... You've got wasted money there. Van Aanholt's a waste. That's my opinion anyway. Because you've gone to all this trouble to trim the fat in attack, but you haven't trimmed the defence where it needs doing. And that's what's... The other thing, of course, is De Gea. So that's another place where money has been wasted. It's He's gone template, but he's missed out on template goalkeeper. That's a mistake, I think. Although it's only probably another 500,000, isn't it? Because he's got Hamer. But he could get a set and forget, someone like the West Ham keeper. Free up another 1,000,000. And then you're talking about being able to... If we did that with Van Aanholt as well, then you could turn Fraser into De Bruyne or someone. Now, that's probably best done on wildcard, I think. So if you want to keep this structure, you're probably better off using your wildcard, trimming the fat, and turning Fraser into De Bruyne, which will all be better done next week rather than this week. Because what's going to happen is, if you keep your wild card too long, I found this myself, if you keep it too long, by December you don't need it anyway, because your team's ticking along nicely just by normal transfers. So you're going to have to use your wild card at some stage, and maybe you should start considering it. Okay, peeps, that's about it. I think I've covered this team pretty well there. I might disagree, but he's not here to talk to about it because he didn't want to do that. So I'm looking in future for these to find a way of doing it, whether I do it via pod and then transfer it to a YouTube video and put a team up, do it that way, or just fly solo like this, because it's a lot less effort flying solo because I don't have to arrange times with people and all that type of thing and worry about internet lag and talking over each other and all that kind of bollocks. So anyway, peeps, this is squad value's looking quite good, I'll give him that. Only 9 transfers. Cup history, are we even in the blooming cup? Oh, it starts game week 17. Went down the wrong path there, peeps. Right, okay, so we'll transition out, I think, and wish him luck for the future, because I'm sure he's going to end up with another top 1,000, not 1,000, but top 1% finish anyway. There we are, peeps. That's about it for this one. So I hope you enjoyed that anyway. So, okay, cheers for now.